Howdy folks, Kerbo here. Welcome back to Ravenport. And we've got big changes. Lots and lots of changes. So first thing you may notice, there's a truck. There's a horse paddock here. This is at the main farm. And we also have a storage shed over here. And we have lots more money. It's hard to see against the sky there. We've got $500,000. So what is going on? Well, I had to change the plans. I wasn't happy with the way the placeables ended up there at the fields. The way it made the ground all lumpy and whatnot. So let's take a quick run down to the fields and I'll show you what's going on there. And try to get you all updated. I'm recording this on Saturday. Saturday the 8th. Yeah, I'm going to try to get a bunch of recording done today because work has been super busy. But we'll get you all caught up on what's going on here. I forgot to note there as we drove by, that barn is gone. I'll show you why in just a bit. I did get my wheel and TrackIR and everything set back up. I'm going to continue that on this series. Kind of like the immersion and control you get. And I got some good feedback based on that. Appreciate your comments. So here we are at the fields. My bigger pickup wagon, that's another change. My rake, that's another change. And you'll notice here, no more placeables. Take a quick look around here. Now there's a little bit left over here of ground that I didn't get edited, but I had to jump through a lot of hoops to get these fields back. A lot of manual editing and extracting GRLE and GDM files and editing stuff in Paint and GIMP. But I got it all back, so we have the fields, like these fields over here in the state they should be. I still have all the grass cut like it should be, and these fields are back to being fields. There's a little bit of grass growing here and there. But it's still a little bit patchy from the placeables. But I got the terrain all put back the way it originally was. We'll do a little bit of cleanup here, probably with a roller someday. Or I may just end up plowing all this into one big field. This is still going to be our grass area, where we're going to get most of our grass. I don't know that I'll put anything over here. Again, it just doesn't fit very well unless the ground is super flat. And I don't want to go totally crazy with mods on this playthrough. There are leveling mods and all kinds of stuff. And I'm also, speaking of changes, I'm also running the beta patch of 1.2, which includes the sculpting and terrain painting, which is very, very cool. So we don't run out of time. We'll review some of that in this episode. But, so equipment changes. So I got the old 6135, that's our main tractor. I've got this rake here. Been raking up some stuff. I went with a bigger pickup wagon. Just making too many trips with the little guy. So we got that over here. And I don't remember where I left the mower. Still got the same mower. And we have a different tedder. So I remember correctly, I ended the last episode having some tedding issues. Been like a week since I recorded those. So it turns out that Kuhn tedder doesn't flex, it's just rigid. But if you buy the more expensive Pottinger, like the next step up tedder, it does flex. So I upgraded. It's able to ted in all the little nooks and crannies that you may have around. So, sold all those placeables, got my money back, spent a little more money on some bigger equipment. We're back now to just having a horse paddock. So I think we're going to start with horses. Get those trained up. It's new, I haven't done that before. And they're supposed to be fairly profitable. We'll see how that goes. We need to get some oats and stuff planted. So there's, the land's still there where that barn was, but I have sold the barn. Let me show you why. Went down here to this barn. Now this looks like the default barn, but it's not. Thanks to Mr. Mark DuPont, I now have a functioning barn. So he put the collector on that side, and then we got the overloading spout, loading spout, whatever you want to call it, over on this side. So it's a functioning barn now. Why Giants didn't do that? Beyond me. I don't understand. They maybe ran out of time, or I don't know. But we sold all the buildings here that were non-functioning, except for the little garage down here, because it has an overhang that I use. There's the Pottinger tedder that works. I use this little overhang here to store my seeds, so it's sort of functional, so it's still here. Anyway, let's hop out of the truck. So this was a fairly level spot. I put this horse paddock down here. Worked out pretty well. And I've snuck this shed in over here in kind of the corner where it sort of fits. And I got the little 2-horse trailer so we can go pick up our horses when we're ready. Got the water tanker moved over. And we're about ready to plant some crops. But one consequence of all these changes... Oh, there's a lot going on here. One consequence of these changes is some of the fields need plowed now. I wasn't able to get the field state quite right on everything. It is as far as harvested and cultivated. But these 3 need plowed now. Not a huge deal, just something we need to do. And like I said, I may end up plowing these in one big, expanding out a little bit to get a maximum grass area. So, what else do we need to do today? That is a great question. I think that's updated you on everything we've got change-wise. It's a lot of changes behind the scenes. I think it's for the better. So we need to get some oats planted. And we have a little bit of hay and straw, I think. I always want to drag there and it doesn't work. I never can remember what these symbols are. I think that's grass. I think that's hay. I think that's straw. Yeah, we had a lot of straw, so that's straw. So we're good on straw, at least for a while. We need to get a little more hay in. So we may work on that. I think I was running around with the pickup wagon. Getting that. So I'm going to run down the field and we'll hop in the tractor. And I'll see you down there. Alright, let's get the wagon, I think, or did I get everything picked up? You know, I've kind of lost track with all these changes. What all I was actually doing. Did I get all the hay picked up? It's looking like maybe I did. So let's take the wagon back to the farm. With work being so busy, and then I've been playing my Twitch farm too, I've almost lost track of what I was doing here. I got to get back into sync with the YouTube farm. I haven't checked to see if I can use all my buttons yet with the new patch. So yeah, I think I've picked up all the hay here. So that's going to be all we got. We just need to get some oats planted and we'll be able to get some horses going, because I'm pretty sure they... Well, I don't know if they have to have oats. Maybe we could get some horses, and then they just wouldn't be fully productive, maybe, until they have oats. We do have hay and water. So we may just plant oats here at the home farm, those fields. And we'll do other crops elsewhere. So lots of stuff to do. I want to get some trees cut down, get these fields turned into grass fields. A lot of plowing to do, expand the grass fields over there where the animals used to be. Got lots of stuff coming up. Plenty of things to do. Just park this here for now. What field do I have that's ready to check that real quick? So 24 needs plowed. We could do that. These guys are fertilized? Are they showing us fertilized? No idea. Should have been just cultivated, I thought. Shows harvested. All right, well, let's get the subsoiler on 24. That needs done. So we can do that. Come on back, tractor. A little bit of an angle there. We got it. So this little field here is 24. I wish we could clean up that junk. That's... I don't know if they're trying to make a political statement or what, but really disappointed with how trashy they made the American map. And they didn't even have the decency to finish it. Not sure what to think about that. Close enough to the side? Not quite. Let's do a little better job of that. We just need to have our tire right on the side. There we go. I don't know why these are all little... Well, I guess I know why they're all little separate square fields, because consoles. It doesn't really make any sense to have these all separate fields, so... Someday we'll probably be doing some field consolidation. It almost seems like the lighting is even better in the patch 1.2. I don't know. I know there's a lot of issues with 19, but man, did they get the lighting right. A little bit glary sometimes in the morning, but just look at the light coming off the hood of the tractor, and then the way it was shining through the cab right there. Now, if I could just use all the buttons on my input devices, that'd be great. Get out of here, bird. Back up into the bushes there. I guess I could just check and see if the buttons work now. Let's take a look in the menu. Since we can actually do that in-game now, it's another nice improvement. I don't want to just rag on the game. They did do a lot of stuff that's cool. Honk. Yep. See, that's still duplicated. So honk says 15, and start-stop engine says 15. The button I push for honk is the middle right button on the steering wheel. This button right here for start-stop engine is the first button on the shifter. But it insists that they're the same button. So I don't remember what I had honk. Oh, I remember what I had honk bound to. This button over here that I'm not using. I have to reach up on the joystick. And then the point of view hat on my joystick doesn't work. Some buttons on it are duplicated. Oh well, someday maybe. Or I just need to do something else where some other piece of software maps the buttons to key presses. I don't know if the Logitech profiler will do that. Might be able to do that through there. That might be a better option, rather than waiting on Giants to fix their broken input stuff. Yeah, just look at the way the sun glints off the hood. That's really good. I really like the new lighting. So it looks like I'm going to get this plow. This should reset plow state and be a cultivation state. That'll be it for this episode. Didn't quite get as much. It's been a long week. Didn't get as much done as I hoped to in this episode. There's just so many changes. It's almost like a completely different farm now. But I think it's going to be for the better. I just wasn't happy at all the way that ground up there was. It's too wonky. Didn't really fit. Swing out a little bit and then cut. Does that let me get line back up? I've got a little Valtra A on my Twitch farm. It turns a lot tighter than this John Deere. It's a lot smaller tractor too, Valtra. My only complaint with this G27 is that it's fairly noisy. When I gotta crank the wheel, you guys are gonna hear it. Liking the subsoiler. It's about the biggest one I can get for this tractor. I could get a bigger tractor, but really for the size of the farm we have right now, we don't need a bigger tractor. Way more realistic size. Spot I missed. Not everybody in the U.S. farms like Wilker farms. Kind of in a class of their own. There's some guys over by my cousin, though, that have a pretty big operation. They got a bunch of Challengers, big old combines, whole fleet of semi-trucks. It's pretty impressive to watch them, but most of the folks I know that farm are small operations. This would be a big tractor for them. A cousin that I do chores with sometimes when I'm back home, he's got a, remember, it's some kind of old case tractor from like probably late 70s. 120 horsepower maybe, I forget. Does everything he needs to do. He mostly just does haying and stuff with it. He runs cattle. Beef cattle. Alright, that's going to do it for this field. Run back over here. I think we'll finish out the episode with maybe a little bit of texture painting with the new Beta 1.2 features. Now, I am running this save on the Beta 1.2. So there's no going back, basically. So we make any kind of terrain changes. Let's park this down here in the shade. That way the cab won't be so hot, right? So one thing I kind of want to do was put a little gravel down maybe over here by the shed where we're kind of driving. So it's going to be a little bit expensive, but let's do it. So you go to store, then you have an extra icon over here now. Beta. Start landscaping. And then if you've used the Giants editor to do mapping, it's a lot like that. Uh-oh. Except when it doesn't work. It's weird. Why is it not following the mouse? I was going to show you off and you're broken. Okay. Oh, we won't do that. Oh, is it because I have TrackIR? When I was experimenting with this before, I didn't have my TrackIR on. I had my TrackIR frozen. Let's try that again. No, it's not moving with the TrackIR. All right, well, I guess we won't do that. What I was going to do was paint some gravel in there, but I can move the center, but normally this would move with your mouse pointer. I have a feeling it's because I have TrackIR on. So, anyway, you can switch between sculpting, which lets you raise and lower, flatten, smooth terrain, or painting, which lets you change the texture. It's got different ground types here. Of course, they don't give you a name, so you just have to kind of guess which is which. You can paint various textures on, just like you could in the editor. So what I'll do is, I guess, figure out why this doesn't work. Maybe the next episode we'll do some landscaping. I'd like to kind of fix as much of this texture here as I can, because this... Why would you do this, Giants? Why would you make this a different color? It's dumb. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I'll try to get this sculpting thing figured out. And I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.